Welcome back with another video, a quick video this time. So thank you for tuning in and checking this one out. Quick video, I'm at work on lunch, have to go real quick, but there are some points that we have to talk about. And from you read the title, have the selectors gone mad? And I don't want you to, be offended or anything of that sort, but I just want you to hear what I'm saying. So the first thing I'm looking at, number one, all right? First thing, let's talk about this squad that's facing Australia in the ODI series, right? So currently, this is the squad taking on Australia, right? And those in yellow, those are the players that came in that replaced some players from the England series. Now, if you notice, these are the players coming in. But first thing I want to talk about is Keon Otley. Otley in the second ODI was batting at number 3. Otley is batting at number 3. Otley is batting at what? Number 3. Now that really pisses me off. And here why. Remember at the press conference, right? Desmond Haynes said what? Our lead selector said that Darren Bravo is being kept out of the team because they're investing in the future with it, which is Alec Athanas and Casey Carty. No, you expect then who should bat at number 3. If there's any rejigging of the batting order, these two have to be positioned at 3 or 4 if they're not batting at the top. They should be batting at 3 or 4 because remember, these are the two keeping Darren Bravo out of the team.
I know that there's no Darren Bravo within the squad, and could you tell us what is your thinking behind of not giving him a call up after an impressive CG United Super 50 championship this year?
Yeah, I think that it was a very tough decision for us to make as a panel. Darren has proven not only this year, but last year as well in the Super 50 tournament to be somebody who, performed well at this level. But we have invested in players like, Alex Antones and Casey Carty. And we just figure that, selecting this team, we also had to take into consideration that the World Cup 2027 is something that we've got in mind. And we believe.
So Athanas, he has opened in both games. Casey Carty started at 3, but then moved down to 5. If it was going to reach to this point where Casey Carty can drop down to 5, why is it then that Darren Bravo is not in the squad? Think about it. Now, Darren Bravo, remember, was the leading run scorer in Super 50. And he batted mainly at number 3 and 4. Averaging 83, strike rate 92, no issues. Poor communication between the selectors and Darren Bravo. And we still have more things to talk about with Darren Bravo. So that's the first thing. Keon Otley is in the side as a replacement opener. We understood that Justin Greaves was injured, right? And that's why he didn't open against England. Athanas did well. And King, Brandon King is the number 1 ODI opener. So we know that Athanas and King, all right, is there, and Greaves. Those are the 3 openers that should have been in the squad with England. So Justin Greaves, right? Justin Greaves should have been in the squad, and Keon Otley is only there because he was basically filling in for Justin Greaves. Nowhere in Australia. Keon Otley is still in Australia. No longer as a reserve opener, but he is now batting at number 3. Tell me, wasn't it the case where our number 3 should have been the man who scored the most runs in Super 50 batting at 3? Shouldn't it have been Darren Bravo at 3? Or if you're doing some reshuffling, Darren Bravo at 3 or 4, or Casey Carty should remain at 3 or 4 given what we said. We said that our top order batsmen that we're investing in is Alec Athanas and Keon Otley. That's number 1. Secondly, Kavem Hodge is in this ODI squad. Right. Out of nowhere, Kavem Hodge made this ODI squad. Now, Kavem Hodge is a good player, and I hope to see him going to England in the Test series. I really do. However, in ODI cricket, if we needed a number 3, Kurt McKenzie literally just was the second highest run scorer in the Test series versus Australia. 138 runs, averaging 34.5, and he looked positive. He wasn't bogged down in the Test series. If we needed somebody to stay on from the Test series, shouldn't it have been Kurt McKenzie? After they saw the first test and announced their ODI squad, why was Kurt McKenzie not considered? That's very strange to me. Kavem Hodge got in the ODI squad. Tell me, how? Why is it not Kurt McKenzie? No, if we go back again to this squad, Tevim Imlach. Tevim Imlach is in the squad as a reserve wicketkeeper. Now, automatically, if you look at our top 6, right, from the last ODI game that we lost badly to Australia, we have Justin Greaves, Alec Athanas, Casey Carty, Shea Hope, Ruston Chase. These are the guys in our top 6. All right, these are the guys in our top 6, and Keon Otley. The guys in our top 6 naturally strike at 70 something. All of them apart from Athanas, naturally bat in the 70s. And I'm talking even when they're in our regional Super 50 tournament. 75 for Otley, Greaves 84. Naturally, these guys strike at 70 odd. And if you even look at Tevim Imlach, look at this. This guy strikes on average 67.9, under 70, and he was averaging 29 in our Super 50. He's a reserve wicketkeeper in the ODI squad. So you're telling me if Shea Hope is to get injured and cannot play that third ODI, can you imagine Tevim Imlach striking at 60 odd, the other guy striking at 70 odd? How are we going to make even 250? How are we going to make 250? Just think about it. I pause for a minute to actually want us to think about it. And this is very upsetting as Caribbean fans to watch this. So I am asking the question, what are the selectors thinking? Now, I can understand with Teddy Bishop's selection, a youngster, he's a youngster, Rutherford not there, Hetmeyer not there. They're playing in the T20 league in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. That's fine. Hayden Walsh, I can understand his selection. Fair enough. But we had to talk about that Tevim Imlach selection. We had to talk about why Kurt McKenzie was not considered. We have to talk about why Darren Bravo then, given that this is the case now where Keon Otley, who's supposed to be in the squad as a reserve opener, he was just filling in. All of a sudden, he's batting at number 3, where our best batter, based on Super 50, should have been there. Kavem Hodge, how did he get in the ODI squad? We have to talk about that. The next thing we have to talk about is this idea of we have to have a leg spinner. Why was Hayden Walsh or Yannick Carrier, why is it that we need a leg spinner? Why can't we play 2 left arm spin in our team, right? So I want you to listen to the press conference again. This was from the England series, the press conference of why Akeal Hosein was not in the ODI team. So listen. So as we listen to that, our selector don't even know what's happening with Akeal Hosein, right? Our selector doesn't even know what's happening with Akeal Hosein. This is the same man who, after Jermaine Blackwood was dropped as vice captain from the test team, says he needs to give him a phone call. If we go back to 2019, there was a meeting held with Pollard and Holder and Brathwaite and the selectors, and they discussed and said, you know what, we think Kyron Pollard is the man to go forward. So back then, at least in 2019, there was the decency from administrators, right, to ensure to have good communication between players and themselves. So they communicated with Holder and Brathwaite and let them know Pollard is going to take over as captain. And everybody came to an agreement, and then Pollard also looked about how he'd like the ODI squad to set up and so forth. Right? Of course, that is how we saw DJ Bravo coming back into the T20 team and stuff like that under the influence of Pollard. But at the end of the day, at least in 2019, there was some clear communication between the captain, the selectors, the coach, and so forth. Fast forward to 2022, all sort of nonsense, right? Now, the next thing we have to talk about is the test team. The test team, yes, we just drew against Australia, but we have to talk about this. There were some players that many wanted to see in the test team. Casey Carty, Brandon King, Shea Hope, Darren Bravo. Now, I'm not saying any of them would have caused us to win. I'm just pointing out what the selectors are not doing. Now, the selectors would have approached these players pretty much just about when they're about to tour Australia. So, after England came here, right, they had told Darren Bravo that basically he's too old and he's not being considered for ODI cricket. They're building for 2027. Then in December, you're going to call the man and tell him, would you like to tour Australia? You're going to call Shea Hope in December and say, Shea Hope, we want you to go to Australia. You're going to call Brandon King and say, we want you to tour Australia for a test tour next month, January. That's stupidness. We only play about 7 test matches per year. Why is it that the selectors cannot do this? Let them know in advance, 6 months, 7 months, say, listen, we're going to tour England, right? We're going to tour England in the summer. They should be able to contact these players from now and say, we have you in mind to play test cricket in England. Would that be something you would consider? That is how we have to go about selecting our best players for each and every tour. You cannot call a man literally 2 weeks before the tour and ask him if he wants to tour Australia. That is stupidness. Have our selectors gone mad? They need to do better. They need to do better. And us as fans, we can't just sit and tolerate this. Right? So this is just me expressing some of my thoughts. I don't know if you agree, if you disagree. Just leave it in the comment section. And we can always discuss this on our live streams coming Saturday, every Saturday, 8 p.m. live stream. We talk all things cricket. And finally, the last one I have to leave or share with is Andre Russell. Andre Russell was not selected or considered for T20 since the 2021 T20 World Cup. Russell has not been selected since, right? 2022, 2023, there has been lots of stuff in the papers, select. Now, Andre Russell, since he's returned back to West Indies, he is now our #1 all-rounder. Now, Romario Shepherd and Jason Hole are also in the T20 squad, right? Romario Shepherd and Hole are both in the T20 squad. But if you're watching the ILT20, the SAT20, and if you also look at the recent performance versus England, Andre Russell right now is our #1 T20 all-rounder. Why was Russell not considered all of 2022 and for majority of 2023? And this man is still playing at world-class level. Not considered for those 2 years. And when he's back into the team, he's not just our third or second best. He's now the #1 T20 all-rounder in the region based on performance. Yet still, Russell was not considered the entire 2022 and majority of 2023. The selectors of West Indies cricket, you need to do better. So these are some stuff that we really need to fix. Administrators, president, whoever is in charge of West Indies cricket, right? We need to do better. We need to do better. And as fans, we cannot tolerate this. So just leave your comments. Let me know your thoughts if you agree, if you disagree. And we definitely can talk about it in the live stream come Saturday, 8 p.m. So thank you for checking this one out. I'm Ronaldo, and I'm out.